2022 तक इस देश में कोई गरीब बिना घर के न रहे।
Real estate sector globally recognized as a key driver of economic growth. With 4 components, housing, retail, hospitality, and commercial, its growth is stimulated by an expanding corporate environment, increasing the need for office space and urban and semi-urban accommodations. When it comes to direct, indirect, and induced benefits for the economy, the building industry ranks third amongst 14 major sectors. In India, the real estate sector is the second biggest employer after agriculture.
Namaskar, hello and a very warm welcome viewers. You're watching the special series of Sansad TV in the run-up to Budget 2022-2023. Today our focus is on the real estate sector. From major policy overhauls, amending the old acts, imparting a decisive impetus to the development of infrastructure and ensuring housing for all, one thing is clear. The government has set the stage for Indian real estate to flourish in the long term. How has the real estate sector transformed? What are the steps unveiled for it by the government? What are its expectations from the upcoming budget? We have packed all that for you in this edition. Come along.
The real estate sector had a phenomenal performance in year 2021, notwithstanding the long shadow cast over it by the COVID-19 pandemic. Demand for housing saw an uptick, suggesting a growing awareness about the importance of health, sustainability, future security, and stable investments. The residential sector was quick to adopt technology solutions to sustain business operations in the wake of disruptions caused by the pandemic in the labor market. The pandemic led to many fundamental changes in the residential sector, changes that emanated from trends like work from home, e-schooling, reverse migration, and the desire for spacious homes amid lush landscapes. Real estate developers lost no time in adjusting their operations to cater to buyers who were seeking affordability, world-class infrastructure, excellent connectivity, fewer traffic bottlenecks, low pollution, affordability, and a better quality of life. Tier 2, Tier 3 cities emerged as favorite destinations for buyers, boosting housing demands in these locations.
आत्मनिर्भर भारत का सीधा संबंध देश के नागरिकों के आत्मविश्वास से है और घर एक ऐसी व्यवस्था है, एक ऐसा सम्मानजनक तोहफा है जो इंसान का आत्मविश्वास कई गुना बढ़ा देती है। अगर अपना घर होता है तो एक निश्चिंतता होती है, उसे लगता है कि जीवन में कुछ ऊपर नीचे हो भी गया तो भी ये घर रहेगा, मदद करने के लिए काम आएगा। उसे लगता है कि जब घर बना लिया है तो एक दिन अपनी गरीबी भी दूर करके लेगा।
The developments indicated that by 2040, the real estate market in India will grow to 65,000 crore from 12,000 crore in 2019. The sector is expected to reach $1 trillion in market size by 2030, up from $200 billion in 2021. It will be contributing 13% to the country's GDP by 2025. Retail, hospitality, and commercial real estate will grow significantly to provide much-needed infrastructure. Construction is already the third largest destination for FDI inflows. Between April 2000 and June 2021, FDI in the real estate sector, including construction development and activities, was $51.5 billion.
पहली बात ये करना है कि हम जो होम लोन्स करते हैं उसको राहत ज्यादा देने की आवश्यकता है। आज की तारीख में स्टैंडर्ड डिडक्शन सिर्फ 2 लाख रुपया है और वो 10 साल के से ही चल रहे हैं। मैं समझता हूं कि उसको 5 लाख रुपया कर देना चाहिए। दूसरी बात है कि हमें इंसेंटिवाइज करना है। प्रधानमंत्री कह रहे हैं कि हमें रेंट मॉडल रेंट टैक्स करना है और रेंटल को प्रोत्साहित करना है। वहां हमें एक और परिवर्तन लाने की आवश्यकता है बजट में। वो है कि जो स्टैंडर्ड डिडक्शन है वो 30% से 50% पर करने की आवश्यकता है, क्योंकि जो ROI रिटर्न ऑन इन्वेस्टमेंट है रेजिडेंशियल का वो सिर्फ 2% है और कमर्शियल का 6% है।
Own your dream house is the cliched pitch of almost every other advertiser. But the time to do so for potential buyers has never been better. Supportive government policies have strengthened consumer confidence and market sentiment. Low interest rates for loans have brought real estate assets within reach of people who are acknowledging them as necessities worth investing. Recognizing this, one of the biggest and arguably the most called for reforms in the real estate industry in India has been the implementation of the Real Estate Regulation and Development Act, or RERA, in 2016.
For long, home buyers have complained that real estate transactions are heavily weighed in favor of the developers. RERA makes the property transaction between the seller and the buyer more equitable, free, especially in the primary market. RERA has many progressive provisions. It assures that home buyers' money will not be diverted anywhere else by the builders. It also provides for a single window mechanism to confirm time-bound approvals for projects to be completed. It also creates a robust grievance redressal system.
एक्ट के माध्यम से ग्राहक और आप के बीच का भरोसा मजबूत बनाने में इस सरकार ने बहुत बड़ी भूमिका निभाई है। अगर आप गहराई से उस बात को देखोगे तो आप इसे महसूस कर पाओगे। यानी रेरा 28 राज्यों में नोटिफाई किया जा चुका है। 21 राज्यों में तो ट्रिब्यूनल भी काम कर रहा है। आज देश भर में करीब 35,000 रियल एस्टेट प्रोजेक्ट्स और 27,000 रियल एस्टेट एजेंट्स इससे रजिस्टर हो चुके हैं। इन प्रोजेक्ट्स के तहत लाखों नए फ्लैट्स निर्माण किए जा रहे हैं।
In 2009, it was found that 1,600 affordable and middle-income housing projects were stuck across India. 4.58 lakh home buyers were unable to get houses which they had paid for. In a historic move that year, the government set up 25,000 crore fund for the store projects to provide relief to home buyers. The government also decided that projects classified as non-performing assets or those stuck in the National Company Law Tribunal will also be eligible for funding. The fund, however, will not be available to projects that entered liquidation.
The current housing shortage in urban areas is estimated to be 10 million units, but the government's Housing for All target is expected to provide a huge boost for the real estate sector.
Launched in 2015, the Housing for All program had a target of building 50 million new housing units by year 2022. 30 million units were proposed to be built in rural areas through Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Rural. The rest 20 million were to come up in urban areas through Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. As many as 114.06 lakh houses were sanctioned. 89.36 lakh were grounded, which means they were provided with electricity. 52.55 lakh were completed or delivered under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Urban. Around 9.71 lakh houses have been completed and delivered to beneficiaries in Uttar Pradesh, 6.22 lakh in Gujarat, 5.26 lakh in Maharashtra and 4.77 lakh in Andhra Pradesh.
पहले जो सर हम लोग का घर जो है वो कच्चा था, बम्बू से बना हुआ था, तो उसमें पानी वगैरह भी बहुत बारिश समय को आता था तो बहुत तकलीफ होता था। लेकिन जब से जो डिपार्टमेंट यूरी डिपार्टमेंट लोग ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर आवास योजना का कुछ हेल्प जो बताया है, उनको सुन के जो 1-2 रुपया जो हम दोनों जुगाड़ घर बनाने के लिए जुगाड़ करके रखा था तो वो और भी अच्छा हुआ और इस वजह से हम ये पक्का घर जो हम लोग बनाया है। ठंडा में तो रहने के लिए भी बहुत मुश्किल था, लेकिन जब से वो सेंट्रल लोग जो हेल्प करके जो ये घर बनाए उसीलिए अभी हम लोग फैमिली लोग बहुत खुश है।
Real estate is one of the major contributors to India's GDP, but the industry needs a greater impetus to deliver better results. India's real estate sector, specifically its residential segment, has shown quick recovery from the pandemic-induced crisis because of a slew of measures unveiled by the government.
The Urban Development Ministry issued an advisory to states and UTs so that regulators can consider the COVID-19 period as an act of God. They will be able to extend all registration and completion dates of projects by up to 6 months. 30,000 crore special liquidity scheme was announced. Investments made in both primary and security markets. The government launched an affordable rental housing scheme under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana for migrant workers and urban poor. From 14th May 2020 till 31st March 2021, TDS and TCS rates were reduced by 25%.
As India takes large strides towards becoming a superpower, Prime Minister Narendra Modi has unveiled the Gati Shakti plan to lend speed, Gati and power, Shakti, to achieve targets to end the decades of bureaucratic red tapeism and working in silos that have stalled projects. Experts say this will impart speed to real estate projects.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Gati Shakti master plan focuses on multimodal connectivity in infrastructure projects in India with a funding of around 100 lakh crore. Due to the presence of various departmental stores, items, facilities at different locations, it becomes difficult for individuals to access them easily and all at once. Gati Shakti, a digital platform, brings 16 ministries, including railways, roadways, together for integrated planning and coordinated implementation of various infrastructure projects. People, commodities and services will be able to move more easily and efficiently because of multi-dimensional interconnectivity. Implementation of PM Gati Shakti would assist in determining the best cost-effective and time-efficient paths.
Gati Shakti represents an integrated, holistic approach. Now, for instance, if a particular ministry, let us say for purposes of reference X, wants to undertake a development project, let us say building a highway, let us say in a remote part of the country, right, J&K or the Northeast, it would let its intent be known in the master plan of Gati Shakti. It would make it known on the portal. So any other ministry, including the ministries I am associated with, if at that stage we already have something on the drawing board, we would coordinate, consult, dovetail our plans so that this absurd situation of somebody building a road now, having to dig it up later because a gas pipeline has to come in or the gas pipeline is laid and suddenly you find that that is an area where some other infrastructure project is crisscrossing. It will ensure not only a coordinated, integrated, holistic approach on major infrastructure projects, it will bring down the logistics and other costs.
Smart cities hold the key to real estate growth in India. Coupled with green architecture and affordable housing, smart cities catalyze real estate development in the country. Connectivity of smart cities to economic, education and transportation hubs help real estate activities in both commercial and residential sectors. Almost 3,131 smart city projects worth 53,175 crore have been completed under the Smart Cities mission.
The key question is whether the housing market bounce back will sustain in 2022. Well, the sector has high hopes from Budget 2022-23.
Industry experts expect the upcoming budget to further relax income tax norms, tax rebate on housing, extension of interest subvention, GST waiver, infrastructure status for Realty, and easing of liquidity norms for the sector. Policy announcements on home loan interest rates, reduction in stamp duty and registration charges that make a sizable difference to project cost will boost homebuyer sentiment and encourage them to go in for property purchase. The sector expects the government to unleash a series of reforms and consumption boosters to increase credit offtake from banks to ease liquidity.
During the current pandemic era, Indian sentiments are in apprehension mode. about recovery of the Indian economy due to the coronavirus. Nevertheless, we are looking forward that Modi government will adopt a positive approach and methodology for the upcoming budget. Real estate, one of the most recognized sector across the world and a significant contributor to the Indian economy. We expect the FM will consider and address the sector concern and fulfill some of the key expectations through some tax initiative, policy reforms, and dedicated budget allocation to especially affordable housing. We expect the government to double the amount of fund allocation for the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana to enable more people to realize the dream owning home and help the government achieve the goal for housing for all by 2022.
Roughly around 60,000 new old put together, and those which are power of attorney and all that. Put together, roughly around 60,000 flats are unregistered. And that is, it is a loss of the government because those stamp duties are not going to the government. If it is registered, a stamp duty will come. So I will suggest government, first, to solve the builder-buyers dispute. Second, to reduce the stamp duty. Third, they should encourage, motivate builders to construct more and more LIG and Janta, so that lower middle class people who are not having houses, they should go and buy their houses, like rediwalas, small businessmen. And this pandemic situation, the economy, the rotation of money is not happening for the last 3 years. I mean, almost around 2 to 3 years. So that will happen.
Investments in Indian real estate sector have remained resilient despite headwinds triggered by the pandemic, adversely impacting the economy and business climate. For the 9 months ended September 2021, the industry recorded investments worth $3.5 billion. Residential and industrial warehousing sectors are the major beneficiaries this year, garnering a combined 36% in investments. With pre-budget consultations for budget 2022-23 coming to a close, real estate experts say that the upcoming budget could focus on providing a push to both affordable and rental housing, while strengthening the existing financing systems to provide liquidity to stuck real estate projects.
Well, that's all we had for you in this edition. Thanks for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned to Sansad TV. Namaskar.